Hello, I'm Debbie DeWitz Jensen sharing with you part 3 of 5 video parts on the science and philosophy behind emotional interference patterns and how they affect our lives. And you might be asking yourself, what exactly is the difference between feelings and emotions? There is such a fine line between the definitions of feelings and emotions that it might be easy to become confused. Feeling is more general and neutral. It produces an indicated overall condition, impression, or reaction. It's having sensation. To perceive through thought, bodily or emotional reactions or instinct. Having the ability to react or feel emotionally. Emotions are more of an intense outward expression or reaction of feelings, more of a wide variety of feelings, thought, and behavior, or the result of an intense feeling and thought coming together. A strong surge of feeling marked by an outward expression and often accompanied by complex bodily reactions. Any strong feelings such as love, hate, or joy. Any agitation of mind or excitement of sensibility. Or a moving of the mind or soul. Personally, I tend to use both terms, feelings and emotions, interchangeably. Experts also distinguish among emotion, mood, and temperament, with emotions being the most transient and clearly identifiable in terms of what causes it. Mood lasting for hours or days and being less easily traced. And temperament, give or take certain modifications, being for a lifetime. Though I believe Bruce Lipton, cellular biologist, would state that this behavior was the result of in utero programming that was preparing the baby for the environment that they were to be born into, and with rewriting our beliefs at the subconscious level of mind, that even our temperaments can be changed during our lifetime for the better. We oftentimes refer to some of our feelings and emotions as negative, and I'd like to take a moment to clarify this a bit. Feelings or emotions themselves are not negative or positive. They are just responses to situations, and some situations are more pleasant than others, that's for sure, but most often they are valid and appropriate for our changing circumstances. They alert us to danger, warn us at times to take a different course of action, in addition to the ones that make us happy and joyful. But that doesn't necessarily make them bad, or wrong, or negative, just appropriate for those circumstances. In most cases, we move through them. Now, if we act out and behave in inappropriate ways, that's what makes the expression of them bad or negative. For we are still held accountable for our actions, and we do have the choice of how to act upon the emotions we feel. Anger, grief, fear, these emotional experiences are not negative in themselves. In fact, they're vital for our survival. We need anger to define our boundaries, grief to deal with our losses, and fear to protect ourselves from danger. All of our so-called negative emotions have some positive value. In the proper amount, each negative feeling helps us to stay on course towards health and happiness. They do this by telling us when we're veering away from our goals, our values, our beliefs, our standards, our comfort zones, our physical health, our happiness. If we had no fear, no regrets, no guilt, and no sadness, we would be little more than unfeeling, uncaring robots. But since we are humans, we do have feelings. It's only when our feelings are denied so that they cannot easily and rapidly process through our system and released that the situation becomes toxic. The more we deny them, the greater the toxicity. Allow all of your feelings to be felt and move through you, regardless of whether you think they're acceptable or not, and then let them go. By letting all of our feelings run their natural course, the so-called bad ones are transformed to good ones, and we are liberated from suffering with them any longer than necessary. This is the end of part 3. Please join us for part 4 of the science and philosophy behind emotional interference patterns and how they affect our lives.